Michael Mike's Bags. Today I'm reviewing the Obedient by Big Mac Bags. Let's go and dive in, break these bags down. As always, we'll start with materials. Slow side, this is a hybrid material. It's the material that I refer to as the clone material. Same slow sides you find on the Southwest Hefe, the Swag Bags Tornado, the Sub-Zero Winter Tides, the True Cornhole Bullseye. There's quite a few bags that use it. Very versatile material. In fact, it's probably one of the most versatile materials in the sense that you can get up there and play a true dirty style game with blockers and congestion and chaos, and then get the cuts, rolls, and flops to go along with it. It does a phenomenal job at that. As well as you want to turn around and play a whole running style game and just put 4 bags in, it does that really well. So it really fits into both play styles extremely well, better than probably any other material out there. That's why I think it's the most versatile material. It's a 5-speed, and it plays pretty well across all board conditions. So if you live in an area where there's humidity, or you play in all-day tournaments or events that start in the day and go through the evening, weather conditions change, board conditions change. A hybrid material like this does pretty consistent, so you don't have to change your bag, you don't have to change your throw. You can pretty much play the same style game throughout those different conditions. 5-spin the slow side here. Fast side, this is the same fast side material you find on the Sub-Zero Glacier, the Gnarly Knockout. It's the same material that Big Mac uses on the whatever, but they flip it over and use the other side of that material. I really like it. It has a little bit of control to it. It's fast enough to push through and collect your blockers, to blow up piles, create messes, but it still has some control to it. So if you need to flip the bag over and throw fast side, maybe you're just trying to slip a bag in a tight spot, or you want to make sure that bag goes in the hole, you're not fearful of this just flying off the bag. I would call it an 8-speed, maybe an 8.5, but for me, I think it's more like an 8-speed on this. We're looking at a 5-8 speed on these Obedience. And the other thing I'll mention before I get off materials is on the inside of the slow side, Big Mac does use an aligner in here, and I love bags that have a liner. I've talked about them before. I'm a huge fan of them. They do a couple things. One, it gives the bag a little bit of a fuller hand feel to it without the bags being fuller. It's just whatever it is, it just gives that bag a little bit softer, fuller feeling to it. The other thing it does, it helps in the hole friendliness. When you get these bags up around the hole, because on the inside of this material is a super slick material, the fill doesn't get hung up. Right? Without the liner, the inside of this material it's kind of rough, and fill get caught up and hung up in it. So when you get bags up on the hole without a liner, that fill gets hung and doesn't want to continue to move. It just stops and it hangs right there. With a liner, there's nothing for that fill to hang up on, so it just encourages the fill to continue to move and cascade, and the bags just drip in the hole really well. So I love the liner in this bag. I'm a huge fan of it. If you haven't thrown a bag with a liner, highly recommend you get a set. These Obedience would be a great choice for that. Template-wise, this is a medium template bag. It's got a medium amount of fill in here, which gives the bag some flop, but it is not overly floppy. It's kind of that just right, that sweet spot for flop, which means if you like a floppy bag, you can throw this. If you like a full bag, you can throw it. So again, very versatile bag in that aspect of flop as well. The fill in these is a mixed fill. I think it's mostly a flat fill, it seems like, but there are some round beads in here, and I love the fill. It gives the bag just enough forgiveness that if you don't throw flat, it's not going to have a harsh, punishing kick to it. It lands fairly soft, fairly flat, and runs straight up that board, so very little kick to the bag, but it also has enough movement, enough balance that if you like to do shot shapey, cuts, rolls, flops, you can do it very easily with these bags. It's also very hole friendly. There's enough beads in here that the bag just drips in the hole, and I think, again, you add in that liner there and the beads in here, and this bag gets up near the hole and it just wants to melt in. This slow side material, very hole friendly, fast side treatment hopefully as well, and this bag just does a phenomenal job around the hole. You get it up near the hole, it wants to go in. Let's go ahead and jump in and talk more about playability on these Obedience. And as I mentioned, extremely versatile bag. If you like to get up there and just run bags in the hole, you can do that. Put your 4 bags in, outscore your opponent, get your 12 points every round. You can do that. You can have a ton of success with that, especially on faster boards. I really love this material when boards are fast, because this material has control to it, which means when boards speed up, you still have some control on this. It's not a material that's flying off the bag. Even if you miss, the bag's still probably in play, possibly collectible in the next bag, or at least it stays on the board. You're not losing points by throwing bags off the bag. But even on normal boards, you can definitely run bags in the hole with this. To me, I think where this bag and this slow side material shines is in the dirty style game. I love this bag and this style of bag when I want to play a dirty style game and get up there and throw blockers, create a lot of chaos, a lot of congestion. You've got the ability and the control with this slow side to put blockers wherever you want on the board. And because these Obedience have a medium amount of fill to them, when you go to collect, they're not going to accordion up like a floppy bag, which means, you need to clip a corner. You're just coming down, you clip a corner, you can take it in, which means you can get more aggressive, putting that blocker more over in your opponent's side, knowing your last bag, you can just come right down the middle. You don't get crazy aggressive with the cutter thing. Come right in the middle, clip it, and take it in. If for some reason you miss or go a little further over than you want to, you do have the ability to throw a cut, come across, grab it, pull it back into play. So it allows you to be more aggressive with those blockers and really get that bag in your opponent's way. And even if they don't collect it for you, you've got the ability to go after that bag and bring it back into play and put it back in the hole before the round's over with. So I love that about it. It's also a great bag, I'd say, for shot shaping. So if you have an opponent who's playing a dirty style game and putting blockers up there, you've got the ability cuts, rolls, and flops with this. For the average to above average, you can definitely do it. If you're learning, not a bad bag to learn on. I really didn't have a problem. I can be pretty aggressive with my cuts on this bag. This material grabs nicely. It's got, like I said, it's got enough movement, enough action that I can make those cuts if I get the right tilt, the right orientation on the bag. So definitely a bag if you want to get into that shot shaping style play, which I think with the versatility of this, it makes it a really good blind draw bag or maybe a switch holio style bag. The one hang up you'll get is sometimes you get these players who throw faster bags and they see this hybrid material and they say, oh, that's carpet, I won't throw carpet. If you can just get it in their hands and get them to throw it a few rounds, I think they're going to like it. And once they realize that this material is not really a sticky carpet like a traditional carpet is, it's actually more hole friendly, more forgiving, it plays more like a non-carpet material, I think they'll love it and they'll be able to throw it with you. So definitely a bag that I would throw in your backpack for those type of situations. It's also a bag that if you like the whatever by Big Mac Bags, if you watch my Thursdays, that whatever stays in my backpack quite often. One of my favorite bags. If you like that bag, this is a great complement to that bag because it's a touch slower on both sides, a little more control, where the whatever is more of that whole run style bag, and then you can pull the obedient out if you want to play a dirty style game. That's kind of my thought process when I play with these, is I use the whatever for this whole running style games or the games where maybe boards are slower, stickier, and I want a bag to play a little faster, where board get faster, or I want to play a dirty game. I'm pulling the obedience out because I have more control here and can play that style of game with it. So definitely a great complement to that whatever bag. If you have a set or if you've thrown those, I highly recommend you check these out. And that leads me into availability. Big Mac has a website, bigmacbags.com. As always, I'll put a link down in the description for you guys. These obedience for $65 for a set. It's free shipping. Phenomenal price for a high quality set of bags. Definitely recommend at that price, especially if you've never thrown this clone material. You're interested in throwing it, maybe you haven't tried it out, get a set of obedience. $65 is worth the risk. I think you're going to love it. Like I said, it's a very versatile material. No matter what style of gameplay you like, I think you can throw this and have success with it. So definitely check them out. If you've thrown the obedience, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you like about them, what you don't like. Always love hearing you guys' opinions. As always, I thank you so much for your support, and I thank you for watching.